Are we ready?
No. Jesus fucking Christ.
Scared me.
All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. That's it for us. We'll catch you next time.
Thanks for checking in. We're still all pieces of
Thanks for checking
garbage.
in. We're still a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Someone needs to get just like sound clips of every vine and just put them on a soundboard for Eric.
I'll do
that would be
this week.
so good.
Don't worry about it. All right. So
This bitch is empty.
some technical difficulties last time. So it was a short session. Sans one or two of our players at one point. So I think all that happened last session was you guys had returned from your heist to secure the relic for the Tritons. And upon returning to Tritonia, you were greeted by the party that you had met originally, and they were acting a little bit strangely. And May recognized the sort of symptoms or the signs of illithid control. And it turned out that they were under the control of a mind flayer or an illithid. It turns out there are actually two illithids, which was unusual as they're typically solitary not creatures, but beings. They work alone most times. And there were two of them that were working. A fight ensued between the mind control.
What if they were in love? What if they were like Bonnie and Clyde of illithids?
Gosh.
We ruined it.
Moving us over to the battlefield so that Bailey can see the battle dolphins.
We didn't even ask them if they were Bonnie and Clyde. I can't believe this.
Sorry.
If you're wondering, they have lasers on their fins.
They do have lasers.
Yeah.
I couldn't find dolphins in armor, like the orca. So that's all I could.
Technically,
find.
orca are dolphins, so.
Okay, but you know what I mean. So. Yeah, so a fight ensued between the illithids and their sort of thralls that they had created with Tritons. And after defeating some of the Tritons as well as the two illithids, Rimulus, who you had been conversing with previously, kind of snapped out of it. And Coda's having a great time.
Where's Coda? Oh my god. There she is.
And was anybody down? No, I think May had gone down, but she got brought back up.
Yeah.
Of course I did.
Yep.
Yeah. Par for the course.
Yes. And so I think we ended up finishing it just kind of as the battle concluded because of a whole bunch of difficulties that we were having. But the battle did conclude, and Rimulus kind of snapped. He'd already been snapped out of it. He was helping you guys during the fight. And so the last of the illithids was killed in a fairly gruesome fashion by Zaire, I think. And so you're kind of like standing amidst in the underwater floating gore that is the residual of this combat as it has started to kind of like dissipate into the waters around you. Yeah, so we'll pick up kind of at the conclusion of that fight.
So I thought, okay, so we didn't. For some reason in my head, I thought we had, because we were trying to like ride these things out of here, but we had finished off all the.
You started to, and then Zaire was like, "No, fuck it," and went back and just literally ripped his head off.
Okay.
Well,
got it.
Because our battle orca got
stunned
by the mind blast.
The one orca.
Could have been a name for that, if we're honest, but that's what it's called. So.
The one orca we were all trying to escape on.
Now we need to find the Chris Angel mind freak.
Yeah, so you had started to try and escape, and then Zaire was like, "I'll do it myself, Thanos style." And,
ripped his face off.
Ripped his face off, yeah.
What the fucking face off?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
As you guys kind of like collect yourselves, the last of the two illithids again kind of slayed at Zaire's hand. Rimulus immediately kind of goes over to the fallen Tritons and begins trying to administer some sort of aid to them, as they were his compatriots, even though they were turned during the fight.
Zaire, is there anything you can do to help them?
Yeah. Sorry. Zaire's like caught up, like kind of just staring at the remnants of the mind flayer, like in his talons. And kind of brushes it off and then goes towards the one that Remulus is down at. Kind of does a check. Eric, kind of how's he looking?
They're all down at 0 HP. But
okay.
As I was doing death saves for them, and at the moment it looks like they're still kicking, but not doing well.
Are both
So,
illithids dead? I know one's like hella dead, but is the other one dead?
I think I finished off the death saves for that one, and that one failed.
Fuck.
So I'm gonna I guess cast Spare the Dying on just the first one that he's down on, and then kind of proceed, since it's a cantrip, to each one and cast Spare the Dying of the ones that are stable but haven't.
3, and then one of them. No, there's 2 that are alive. I think one of them is gone.
One of them's gone.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go up to the one that is gone, and kneel down next to it. In my pack, I have a bunch of kind of ritual trinkets that I had purchased in Gel Lida. I'm gonna say just kind of a silent prayer, and slip it into like a pocket or something of the deceased, and then kind of reach for that sacred totem that I have as a kind of a reassurance before getting back up.
Okay.
May is looking around with very wide eyes, and she's holding on to the staff still with all of her might, and trying to keep it out of view of everyone the best that she can.
May, real quick, I'll open up a mental wink. And I'll sort of whisper into your head, hold that close. Don't let it go just yet until we can really survey what happened here.
Agreed. What happened?
Rimulus, this was hardly the thank you reception I was expecting for doing this work for you.
He's still kind of like down and looking, towards his fallen Tritons. And he kind of starts to move towards Jake, the one that you had already acknowledged as being lost, essentially. And he kind of just gives a silent nod for a minute. Says, I wish I could have given you all some sort of warning, but we were taken without much notice ourselves. I'm glad you all made it out.
Not to seem too harsh here, but it was quite a difficult task for us to even find this place in the first place. How did two illithid manage to make their way down here and infiltrate all the way up to your highest ranks? Tritonia is supposed to be famed for its inconspicuousness.
Here on the terrestrial plane, that is the case. They somehow came through the plane of water into Tritonia.
Oxos.
That shouldn't be possible. Tritons guard the portals that exist on any plane.
So you're saying there was a breach from your other regiment on the other side of the portal?
We haven't received any word, but I'm so sorry that this happened to you all. We're still trying to figure it out. But you all had come here because you'd mentioned some sort of it was a being that was converging the planes. Is that what you all had said?
Well, we had seen something similar like this happen on the material plane, and where, things were crossing over and, tasked with warning you to
Mm-hmm.
it worries me that it's beyond just our terrestrial plane that this is happening.
It worries me as well, especially this. If there is a converging of planes, then I fear some back door may have opened into the plane of water that is currently unguarded. And perhaps these beings were able to sneak between the planes without the Guardians noticing. And
Would make sense.
I'm sorry?
No, I mean just saying that would make sense. There's essentially now back channels that did not exist previously.
It's very concerning. I think now more than ever we have to secure the plane of water, its effects here in Cessor Doom and the Everreach Sea. And beyond that, I think we need to figure out exactly how all this is happening.
True. When you were like taken by them, like, were you like aware of like everything going on around you, or were you like blackout?
We put up a fight in the beginning when we first were aware, and we managed to secure most of the city as best we could. But in the end, myself and those of us who were attempting to defeat them ended up being turned. I was aware of what I was doing, though I couldn't act to stop any of it.
Do you know like
I
why?
don't.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say, do you know why they like were doing what they were doing? Did you get like any insight into that?
It seems like, as best I could tell, they were also looking for this relic, which, if they came from the plane of water, it might make sense that they were looking for a way to better control it, because you can find a way into the plane, but it can be deadly to anybody not native. Just existing there can be dangerous. And so if they're attempting to control it somehow, I think this relic is exactly what they'd be looking for,
Word.
which is why we need it
Mm.
now more than ever to secure the plane against whatever incursion might be happening.
Well, I don't mean to presume to tell you how to run your city, Remulus, but you have yet to even secure the city here on this side of the portal. I would recommend sending some of your best and most trusted advisors to conduct a thorough search of at least the hall here and see if there's any scourge remaining that might have also passed through.
Now that we've dispatched with these two, he kind of motions to the bodies that are still kind of, semi-floating above the ocean floor. I think that's exactly what we should do. Would you all care to assist with this? Are you secure in your ability to breathe down here for the foreseeable future?
If you can get
Quite.
us to morning, I can handle it.
Well, how much time do you have now?
8 hours from when we took the potion.
And that was what, an hour ago?
Probably an hour or two.
Do you
Yeah.
have a permanent solution, possibly?
Not at the moment, though. Again, the relic that you brought back may be able to if utilized properly. But that's something that we'd have to look at again once security's been established. Any kind of
Well,
what?
I can certainly assist with your forces in securing the city. I've conducted similar sweeps in the past. Not underwater, but I'm sure it can't be too different.
We have a secure location where those who couldn't escape the city initially were hidden. As I hope you all can appreciate, that's of the it's a very protected secret in the city. So I will retrieve those who are hidden there to help secure the city, and we will return to you all, and perhaps we can begin a thorough search of Tritonia and also of the portal.
We are at your disposal.
He kind of he leaves for a minute. He kind of goes off into the maze of kind of caves and tunnels and things, and kind of leaves you all standing in the city center by yourselves with the two injured but still alive Tritons that Zaire had spared. So you guys have a minute here, just yourselves, if you wanted to discuss anything while he goes and fetches those Tritons that remained in the city.
Quick question for the DM.
Mhm.
Do I think that I could get a full rest if I like went to bed right now?
Love that too.
Before I start choking on water?
If you only have 8 hours, no, you wouldn't be able to.
All right.
You all would probably have to surface before the 8 hours is up, realistically.
They did put us in rooms though the last time where we could breathe.
That's true.
Oh. Okay, we're good.
So yeah,
We'll be fine. I forgot about that.
This is unbelievable. I am furious. I'm furious. We warned them that this was going to happen. And Fremulus was all like, oh, no, don't worry about it. We're all secure and everything's safe. And now look at the situation that they're in.
Well, yeah, they were under their control from the moment we met them. Not the captain, it seems like. Maybe? But, like, definitely everybody that was here.
I don't
know if that's
think
the
so.
case.
I think it happened after.
Oh.
I think they definitely could have prevented
That was
a lot
quick.
of this.
That was a quick takeover. We were only
if
gone
I
for,
can
like,
remember
12 days.
correctly, though, when we broached them on our initial warning, they emphasized that this staff is what they would need to truly secure their plane. And either this is an ironic coincidence or an emphasis on their original point that they could not keep it safe. But I'm hesitant though to give it to them now after seeing how easily it seems like they could have been infiltrated.
The better question is, if it doesn't go with them, where does it go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't presume to know the best place for a relic that I don't know anything about. But
We could just hold on to it.
are
I
we
could
the
keep
best
it.
people to hold on to it?
I don't know, man.
We're a bunch of misfits who are technically exonerated criminals.
I mean, not only that, I don't want to have to take the blame, but I'm in a pretty bad spot right now. Pretty sure I've got plenty of people looking for me. So I don't know if I should have anything put
I think
in my hands.
we're a little out of our depth here.
We cannot go 10 minutes into a session without hitting it.
I'm
It's
feeling
that
a little
8 charisma.
underwater.
It's that 8 charisma really just getting out at you guys.
Much better.
Well,
But I guess
I know.
I see your point. Who better to safeguard this than someone who can actually wield it?
I mean, just think, Feathers. If someone came to your people, assuming they knew best about how to manage the plane of air, I'm sure you would feel a little vexed.
I think
You're always vexed, but even more vexed than usual.
this most recent incident has me a little more worried about my people in the plane of air now. So I see your point.
Yeah.
Yes, I am afraid that this is happening with them as we speak, probably.
I think the
Yeesh.
most important thing that we do with the staff is we make sure it stays out of Oberius's hands. That I think is our primary goal. We can't let him get it.
Why would the Illithid be working with Oberius? The strange bedfellows he has found for himself make my head hurt.
I don't
Is there
know.
any, Eric? Is there anything from like a historical sense of like that you're ever hearing about them behaving or like being more than one together, like them joining forces, them aligning with like a certain cause, or is there always just like a sense that they're loners a little bit?
Make a history check for me.
21.
Yeah, from what you know about these creatures, they're very strange and don't originate from this plane. So you don't have like a ton of at least firsthand experience about them. But there have been recordings of them, one, existing on this plane, and two, acting in this way, right, which is collaborating essentially. And it's usually when there is a significantly more powerful entity that they are aligning themselves with. So they are very selfish, greedy creatures. They want to, right, they want domination over other beings. But when that can't be done, they will choose the best route for themselves. And sometimes that is to align themselves with a much more powerful being, which will allow them to continue to kind of like act how they want.
Okay.
And when doing so, they will sometimes align with other illithids under that sort of banner.
I fear that their collaboration speaks to the strength of Oberius and the forces that might be working against us. I've only heard of these selfish creatures working together when they either fear for their lives or there's no other option. I worry that as we go further, it's going to be more than just these two things that we'll be facing.
Potentially not the time or place for this discussion, or this suggestion, but your people, Feathers, over in Cetaria, they're pretty well connected with the Cetarian League, no? Perhaps I'd be curious to know if this is on the radar of the forces to the east as well.
It might be. As guardians of the plane of air, they might be experiencing stuff similar to this as well. I've been hesitant to remain in contact with those at Crownspeak, although I fear that I may need to put my ego and shame behind me for this one.
Damn. What happens? Did you disappoint Daddy over there, huh?
Yeah, well, I feel like there's many things that all of us are running away from. Lord of House Kavar.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my
Oh boy.
It's gonna mess up every serious moment we have from here on out.
I love it. It's perfect. This is it strikes the balance.
Yes, well, run or fly as far as you can. The past does always seem to have a way of catching up with you, does it not?
You could say that again.
Yeah.
Well, aren't we quite a crew, huh?
Wow. Feeling really safe.
Well, aren't we just an odd couple?
Kami, do we still have our link up?
We do. It's open for an hour.
Okay, cool. Sorry, Zaire, were you going to say something else?
I was gonna respond, but if you're sending him messages too, I'll just say like, well, once we're done here, I fear that our path may cause me to confront my demons a little bit sooner than most. And then like go back to like checking on. He's gonna just leave the conversation and go make sure that the people who are down are like recovering and all that.
Yeah,
Okay.
face them quite literally, right, Zaire?
You get no response.
Can I do a DM? Can I do a history check for Novaborn?
Ooh.
Yeah, go ahead and make a history
What-
check.
Should I roll my new dice?
Yeah.
Do you think they're ready?
Is
I
this
don't
what you
know.
want to use them for?
This is a really big moment. No, I'm going to save it. I'm saving it. Okay, we're going with the tried and true.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
For a 19.
Hey.
You have never heard that term before.
It didn't.
So in our link, Kami, I'm going to say, okay, so I'm going to hold on to the staff, just so you know, for a little bit longer. I think that of all people here, I'm the one who can keep it safe. But something happened during the fight, Kami. Something was said about not attacking the Novaborn member of the party, and it was said by one of the Illithids. And when they said it, they were talking about Ziggy, I think, because they didn't want to hit him, so they stopped targeting him. Do you know what that means? Do you know what a Novaborn is?
No, but I mean, Sparkles is pretty like big and fluffy. I feel bad about taking him down too. I don't know.
At
Maybe
this
they
moment,
discussed that.
To be
I'm
clear.
literally playing with the dolphins, just like.
To be clear, May, what you heard was the Novaborn is not to be corrupted.
Okay. So specifically, they said not to corrupt the Novaborn? What does that even mean? Ah. And Ziggy's all like, oh, me and the stars are one and the same, and he had some strange power with the stars, so I just feel like they want him for something. I
May,
don't know.
what is a nova?
Like a star?
Okay.
Yeah. Part of the sky.
But you said Novaborn, and I don't know what that means. So
Technically,
Yeah.
a nova is a star exploding. Just
Star, yeah, that. Star exploding.
so Ziggy
etymology
was
wise.
Ziggy was born on a night when a star exploded.
Maybe. Or he has some sort of special connection with the stars, and he's able. I don't know. We know that there's something strange happening with the ability to travel through the planes using the stars, right? From all these experiments that are. I don't know. There's something happening. And I think Ziggy has a special role in it because of his connection with the stars. It's making my head hurt too.
Yeah, that's a little above my pay grade, Freckles. But maybe I guess it's good to have a lead somewhere.
Just do you think we should share this information with the rest of the party? Should we tell Ziggy? I mean, he's
Maybe
looking
he
for
knows
parts
something
of
about
his.
what that means.
True. Okay. Okay. I wanted to see if you knew, but let's talk to the
I
group.
surely don't. We don't.
Okay. Oh, Ziggy!
What up?
Hey, come over here. Come here. I know you're playing with the dolphins. Come here. come here.
Jess, are you having this conversation where people who aren't right next to you can hear you?
I don't want anyone other than us to be able to hear what
Got it.
I'm
Just
going
making
to
sure that
ask.
if people are like, if I'm looking at you and you're like whispering into Ziggy. So
Yeah. So I'm going to call, you know how we had that little huddle at the start before we faced those illithids? Let's all get together. Kami? We're all?
What?
Zaire?
Oh,
Huddle.
yes, sorry.
Come here.
Don't touch me.
Huddle.
I don't really like being in close places with people, but
Okay. Well, this is important, okay? Listen, we have the matter of the staff to deal with. Okay, we'll figure that out. But there's something that we have to figure out that deals with Ziggy, where the illithids wanted to not corrupt him during the fight. They called him a Novaborn. For some reason, I think that they were after him.
DM, has anybody else in the party heard that term?
I've Nova heard it before in my life.
Boo!
No, but as soon as you say it, for some reason, Ziggy dies.
Dies.
I'll say everybody can make a history or a religion check, whatever you prefer.
Oh,
DM, can I try again?
No.
I feel like I think that religion should be based on wisdom, but that's just me.
I do.
Picking
24.
up with Wizards of the Coast.
Yes!
6.
14.
Natural one.
14.
Useful.
Makes Kami's earlier comment of what's Nova.
With my -2 in religion, it's a -2.
Okay.
-1, sorry.
So what we have the highest was what, 24? Not one that you've come across, no.
No.
How high do we have to roll for this, Eric? More than 24?
May,
Did you say Novaborn?
don't you have any books with information? You know everything. How do you not know this?
I know. I'm absolutely flabbergasted that I don't know this. I haven't come across it.
The professor at the university was utilizing starlight for their experiments.
Truth.
Mm-hmm.
Nova is space and star. There could be a connection to what was happening at the academy, why they were so interested in Ziggy and the harnessing of the starlight to raise the dead in our first interaction.
Well, I don't know if we should go
Live the
back
life.
to that academy and start asking questions. We've stolen things.
No, I don't. I'm not saying that.
You've stolen
You know how
things.
much I hate that
Yeah,
place.
no, this is the royal we.
Nay.
Not me.
Do we need to be fighting
Okay.
right now?
To me?
I wanted to be perfectly clear that I only participated in that a little bit.
Sure, and I've also watched you attack and murder countless things in the weeks since, so I think we're okay.
Yeah.
Got him. Jesus fucking Christ. The worst thing that ever happened.
No, it's because whenever sirens escape, or they took our music away from us, so we will create our own special effects. God damn it!
Yes, we will.
They didn't do anything. I just couldn't do it anymore.
But you're right. This is no time to get into the nitty-gritty details of what we've done together. But I think I would love to go back to Galita to get more answers about Novaborn. Or is there anyone else that we know that we could talk to?
I mean, I don't personally know. No, I know on the cause at hand, it might be worth speaking to guardians of other planes as well. Although that will also probably leave us searching for answers, as they can only confirm our suspicions that there's a convergence happening.
Hey, smart people, is there a star plane?
There's the astral
Matthew.
plane, right?
I don't know, man.
There is. right, DM?
There is the astral plane, but
That's where Ziggy goes when he takes his mushrooms.
it's less about it's not really a star plane. It's more of like a
Spirit, right? Like spiritual.
more spiritual. Um, yeah, it's not quite like it's not like space, like stars.
Space.
Oda.
Love.
Okay, well, I think let's agree to keep this to ourselves, not share it with Remulus just yet.
I wasn't
Okay.
planning on it,
Okay.
but I do
Alright.
think we should request to go back to those rooms that we were at before we went on this little adventure, because I think we need some time. Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yes, I would like to be
I'm
able to
really
breathe.
tired.
I have the biggest
Breathe and
fucking
rest.
headache from when
long
Squid
cold
Face
day.
yelled in my head.
Mm.
Okay.
After just a few more minutes, it takes a little while. Eventually, Remulus returns, and he's followed by a large number of other Tritons. Some of whom are dressed like him in warrior's clothing. Some of whom are dressed in just more functional clothing. And he kind of approaches you all with the more militarized group, and he says, I think we're going to split up and search what remains of what we haven't already moved through here in Tritonia, and ensure that that was all that came through the portal uninvited. Would you all care to split up or stick together?
I would be happy to assist you in your search, however you need.
Very good.
I need to go to bed.
We can do that as well, but
Same.
let's keep everybody here in the city center until we can confirm that there are no more threats. So if you're not
I'm gonna-
going to participate in the search, feel free to stay here. We'll leave a contingent here as guard, and we shall return if and when we can deem the city safe.
I can come along as well. Assist any that we may find.
Very good.
Is-
Everybody who wants to join the search,
Yeah, I'll help.
go ahead and make an investigation check. I'm gonna have you guys.
Ah, crap.
Okay.
I'm gonna have you guys split up to accompany some of the Tritons, different groups of Tritons throughout the city as you're going.
All right.
I need to put my
Oh,
dice.
that's a 20, which is a
I got
19. Oh, you got a 22?
I got an 8.
17?
8, 17, 3, 19, and Zaire?
12.
12. Okay. Yeah, I mean, as you guys are searching, you have some time with sort of the Tritons that you're accompanying. And they're kind of leading you all through the city in a way that you weren't before, right? You were kind of just, there was a very specific path that you all were taken on to get to where you were staying and then back to kind of the city center. And you're seeing much more of it now. And it's, again, the sort of similar caves and tunnels that you guys had experienced previously, but now you're kind of seeing them branch out further and expand more into this sort of what previously kind of seemed claustrophobic and very foreign to you all is sort of turning into something more familiar as you're kind of in it more. And it just looks like, the streets of a city. You see sort of dwellings that are within the tunnels and the caves. There's what looks to be the remnants of some sort of marketplace here. Not remnants, but it looks like it was obviously abandoned in a hurry. Yeah, so Tommy, you and your group pass through what looks to be some sort of official sort of city building. There are stone sort of carvings that seem to be taking the place of obviously like a written page, which would not survive down here. It seems like they've taken sort of a stone carving. It's very concise as it's much harder to inscribe. And you manage to kind of weave your way through these parts of the city that you're with and back to the city center. And it seems as though, despite sort of the ghost town atmosphere of the city, it seems that you all have found nothing else of concern during your walk through the city. And the rest of you guys similarly pass by things that are just kind of normal things that you would see above ground, just kind of adapted here for this city. And it's amazing how much of this was able to be kept hidden because it is vast and expansive, and it's a pretty sizable city here below the water that has been well kept and well secured.
Under
But
the
you
sea.
make your way, huh?
Under the sea.
So each of your groups eventually completes their searches and returns to the center to sort of reconvene. And Romulus, after conferring with each of the groups, kind of gives a nod and decides that so far the city is secured, but there's still kind of more to be done. So he kind of approaches you all again and he says, well, thank you all for your assistance in searching the city. Seems like for now, at least, we've cleansed what may have come through. But I think we're going to have to increase the security on the portal itself, as well as send some of our own back to our home plane and see if we can't figure out where exactly they were able to get through. But that's none of your concern for the time being. Your sleep space is still available to you all if you wish to stay here for another night, though I'd understand if you would like to get out of the city.
I think we're going to take you up on that space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very well. I hope you trust that we'll be able to secure the relic that you all had retrieved for us.
Yes.
About that. That's me laughing, not in character.
I'll chat with you in your head, Maeve. What do you think, Maeve?
Let's just keep it overnight, just to make sure things are secure, don't you think? I think I can keep it safe, don't you?
Oh, I trust you, of course.
Okay.
Back out loud. Yes, Remilus, well, of course. We all know the purpose of our being here in the first place is to secure the security of the relic, which we, of course, would be happy to do for one more night while you let the dust settle on your shaken city. We obviously have nowhere that we can go since we need these air-pocketed rooms. But
He says, well, I can't blame you for your caution. I think it would be acceptable for you to continue the mission that we requested of you until such time as you're prepared to leave the city.
fantastic.
Is that fair?
I would say so. Others, what do you think?
Yeah, man.
We will use the time until then to continue to secure our borders.
Okay,
Well,
bed
I
out.
will throw you all back to the airspace, and I suppose if there's anything you need in the meantime, just let one of us know. We'll do our best to provide what we can.
I do have a quick question before we leave. On our first meeting, before you sent us off for the staff, you mentioned that you had interacted with my kind before and had communicated to other guardians of the plane of air. Do you have any methods of communicating with them across distances? I fear, as you might have already assumed, that something similar might be happening to them.
Yes, that's actually something that I think we were prepared to look into, and as we begin our investigation into all of what's happening here. I believe those that are able to make that sort of communication were sent out of the city initially. We've sent word for them to return, and hopefully by morning they'll be back, and perhaps we can communicate with the air cocker at that time. We have not reached out to them in a while. I have to admit. I can't say that the lines of communication will still be open for sure, but we can certainly send up a smoke signal, so to speak, and see if they respond.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is there a message that you wish to send to them? We can perhaps, if you all are resting, we can send it and have an answer perhaps by the time you awake. Or is that something you'd rather be present for?
I would like to be present for it.
Very well. I think it would benefit the situation as well if one of their own was present for this. So we will hopefully be prepared for that communication come morning, once you all are rested. Morning, of course, being a colloquial term here, tough to gauge that sort of thing. But anyway, is there anything else before you all turn in to recover?
No, just I guess I should, before I forget, offer my condolences to you. It is never easy to have to see your people suffer, and it's even harder to try and pick up the pieces as leader. So I don't envy you.
We secured the city as quickly and effectively as we could. Sylphin was a dedicated warrior, and he will be missed and sent off with a proper warrior's funeral.
Just know that he may be gone in your existence, but his story is just still to be. He will continue on, and maybe not in this plane or in this life, but in another. He will accomplish great things in death as well.
That is a comforting thought. Jesus. How do I restrict access to that?
Nope.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Nope.
I'm so
Nope.
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh,
That's a comforting thought. I can certainly appreciate that. I hope that is true. He kind of not chokes up necessarily, but he's clearly upset still at the turnout of the situation. And he kind of just gives you all a nod before leaving the. He's kind of been showing you to your where you guys are staying, and then he kind of just turns and returns to the water and leads you all to the space.
So, how do we plan to keep this thing safe?
what a day.
I don't think they'll let us leave with
Nah,
it.
There's no way. They're not going to let us leave with it.
How do we keep?
And I
Who's
think-
keeping it safe?
I mean, like, realistically, it makes sense. Leave the water staff with the water people. Like, yeah, they got infiltrated, but, like, they didn't know it was coming. Like, there's no way to, like,
They
prepare.
did. We warned them.
That illithids were going to take over their brains.
No, but that someone would try to get into the plane of water.
Yeah.
That
You're right, May.
Oberius was looking. I'm just.
I understand your frustration, Maeve. Unfortunately, we are stuck in a position where we don't have a better alternative.
Mm-hmm. I want to spend some part of tonight just studying the staff before we hand it over. I just think it would be good for us maybe to have a better understanding of what this staff is capable of. And I'm okay to hand it over. I want to make sure that they spend the time to secure what they can overnight.
Yeah.
And so we can hand it over before we leave, as long as when we talk to Remulus, he has a true sense of its safety.
I think that's
I
valid.
think that's fair.
Yeah, man. You do you, baby boo.
Yep.
All right. Well, all in a day's work, we stole this staff. We broke into that vault. We swam under. We've done a lot today. I think it's time for us to rest.
It has been a day.
My head hurts. Gotta go to bed now.
Are we all in the same
Yeah.
room, or what does it look like?
Yeah, one sort of like think of like an underwater
Hotel.
like cave. Yes. Where it kind of like it's gone up from most of the rest of the city. And the water level is kind of like there's like a little pool basically at the corner of your room of this cave. And like that leads into a tunnel that goes back into the city. And this is just sort of like a bubble of air within the cave that you all are in.
Cool.
I PTFO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I go into my meditative state.
You're not studying? I thought you were studying with staff.
After
There's something that I want to do. Yeah.
After
Like,
studying the staff. Well,
So you're essentially long resting first.
yeah.
Okay.
All
right.
Yeah. I want to make sure
can take the effects of a long rest.
I'm aware.
Great. I'm gonna long rest, and then
Sneaky mom.
before everyone wakes up, I'm going to cast Sending.
So wild we only have one elf in the party that
I know.
I'm going to cast
And we only
Sending
have one elf.
to Cassian.
You're gonna send it to Cassian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are you gonna send?
All right. Are we ready to
words
count?
of smut. 25 words of smut.
25 words.
I found the staff, but the staff I want is yours.
This isn't the only staff that can get me wet.
No. Oh, sorry, can I
Oh, the horror. The horror. Okay.
Hang on, just before we do this, I'm trying to think. Bailey, does Whirl need a full 8-hour long rest? Does she not have the trans feature like
She
elves?
should if she's a fairy.
I thought the
right?
elves get that from their Fey ancestry, but now I'm not seeing it in the fairy.
They
thing.
do. I don't know.
Fae aren't fairies. Fae's different than fairy.
I thought fairies were also Fey though.
They are, but I don't know if that means that fairies. They're small. They need more sleep. I don't
Fair
know.
enough.
I don't know I don't know fairy
I just realized I wasn't sure if that was a thing for you. But anyway.
No clue.
You've always had to take a full 8, but if not, that would be great.
I'd have to look.
I
anyway.
will look it up now.
Thank you.
All right, your
Okay.
sending is.
Sending is, hi, my love. Crazy story. I'm with the Tritons. The water plane has been attacked by Oberius. After a staff. Do you know why? And do
Stop.
you know?
And
So
Yep.
it ended with "Do you know why?" and.
yeah.
Amazing. I'm so happy it ended on and.
Taken out. He's gonna think you got attacked mid-sentence.
That is. You said the water plane has been attacked by Oberius after a staff.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why? And.
Yep. Yep.
So
You could have gotten it all in if you didn't start with like. I love how in a message with sending she decides to start with like, "Oh, honey, crazy day. You would
Honey.
never believe what happened to me."
Unbelievable.
fairies do need full sleep. The trance for elves does not come from Fey ancestry.
Oh,
It's a separate
Hmm.
thingy mabobber.
all right, good to know.
Nah.
Yeah. After a brief pause, there is a return message. I hope you're okay. I have heard nothing of an attack. I don't know why, but it concerns me. Stay safe. Keep me posted.
Right. I'm gonna send again. I will. Also, Oberius could be aligned with mind flayers. And do you know what Novaborn means?
You got 7 more.
Hope you stay safe too.
Love you.
Love you. Hey, babe.
Want your dick.
The response comes, if the Illithid have returned to this plane, that is also of concern. I don't know the term that you said. Though I can inquire.
Yeah, he's good.
And then the
I
sender
don't get
comes
to
back. Bitch. Said I love you, bitch.
And I ain't never gonna stop loving you, bitch.
And with that, I'm going to get out my father's spellbook. And I'm going to search his spellbook for anything on the staff.
Okay. Let's do an investigation check on that. See
I think it's
what you're getting into.
I think it's time for the new dice. And that's a 19 plus 8.
Wow, for a total of 27?
Yep.
Damn. Okay.
Danya?
So his spell book, the book that you have, contains obviously the spells themselves that he has sort of kept, that he's been working on. But it also contains a lot of notes and other scribblings that sometimes don't make any sense. It seems like they were written in some sort of shorthand, or they were perhaps relevant to something that you don't quite know yet, and so it doesn't really make sense until you kind of get the context. And so that's kind of one of those things that you maybe have like had seen before, but weren't able to kind of put into the right context. And you see some scribblings that essentially break down to, it seems like they're talking about some sort of elemental staff that consists of 4 pieces, and each piece corresponds with one of the 4 core elements, and originated from each of those respective elemental planes, and sort of acts as almost a tether. Not a tether. It acts as sort of a channel or a focus for that elemental energy here on the terrestrial plane, between the elemental plane and the terrestrial. And so you see some scribblings, that a word that you hadn't really known what to kind of make of it previously. It was the term aquamancer. And it seems as if at least this particular the sort of water core part of the staff requires sort of the abilities of an aquamancer to really utilize, and can be a very powerful tool, can be a powerful weapon, and at one point was used as a very powerful sort of focus for during the attempted planar cleansing. This was that was at one point tied to that event.
All right. And would I have a sense of how many aquamancers exist?
Um,
How many wizards or sorcerers are capable of it?
It's not like there's only one. It's a school of magic, essentially, that
Okay.
you've definitely heard of, and you've met probably 1 or 2 in your time. It's not a super common one. Among somebody like the Tritons, there's a much higher likelihood that they would have a few of them among their kind. But typically, there isn't necessarily a dedicated aquamancer. It's just abilities of sort of aquamancy, if that's what you want to call it. People have just learned sort of individual abilities, things like control water, that I believe your party member Ziggy has used already. It's sort of part of that, like, it's not an official school of magic, but it's like sort of part of that classification, though not really a dedicated aquamancer, right? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Cool. Right. And then I'm going to go back to sleep until everyone else wakes up.
Okay. Yeah, I think after everybody gets their full rest in, the party sort of starts to stir back awake.
Nothing like a long night
So
of rest.
it sure was. Dave, how are you feeling this morning about returning our little toy to its previous owners?
I think I could keep it safe. But maybe Remulus is someone we can trust. We just have to see. I've studied it overnight, and the staff requires an aquamancer to wield it. So let's just check with Remulus to make sure that either he or someone in Tritonia is able to control the powers of the staff.
Well, he did tell us that was the case before. When he sent us out on the mission, he said he believed that the people who stole it would not even know how to use it, whereas the Tritons of Tritonia have the capabilities to use it as a means of protection.
Mm-hmm.
And
As long as they weren't lost in the attack.
What benefit will it have if we keep it, right? It'll only put us at more risk.
What's an aquamancer?
Well, Ziggy, you're kind of an aquamancer yourself. You know, you can control water, but it's a school of magic.
How do you know all this?
Gimme!
No,
Gimme!
No, Ziggy, you're not capable of wielding this. No offense.
May, how do you know all of this?
Well, my father, he's a wizard as well. He taught me a few things.
Interesting.
So if he was smart and you're smart and I'm dumb, does that mean my parents were dumb?
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
I don't think that's the way that works.
I don't know. Listen to Maeve. She's smarter than I am.
You're not dumb, Ziggy. Give yourself some credit, okay?
Oh no, I'm pretty stupid.
I think you're pretty street smart.
And Whirl knows what street smart is.
I sure do. Thanks, May.
Street smart. I was literally thinking the same thing.
I'm not even worried about it. I'll kill you.
Not even worried about it.
There's something wrong with the bitch. There's something wrong with the pop.
Good quote.
Yeah, I think
Shut up! Shut up!
I think
I've got a very firm grip.
What is that?
I'm quoting all of Prisoner of Azkaban to you guys.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
he's pretty much single-handedly walking through the whole scene by himself.
But I think I could wield something as powerful as this one day. And you sort of see a look come across May's face that you haven't really seen before, but it's
Insight!
just a sense of she is in pursuit of powerful magical items.
Am I worried? Insight check. Am I worried about this, DM?
But it passes very quickly.
I got that 18 passive insight. 18 passive insight, DM.
I'll let you make an insight check.
Let's go!
I mean, Jess did say that we saw it pass her face. So.
I know.
Yeah,
May's
not very good at hiding.
Her lust for power.
16 plus 8, 24.
So, yeah, I mean, like they said, it's not like it was necessarily hidden. She wasn't that good at covering it up if that's what she was trying to do. But you have spent quite a bit of time among some very ambitious academics during your time in Gel Lida.
Mm-hmm.
And it has spawned a little bit of distrust for those that have that sort of drive. So it's a little bit of a concern for you. If not something that you feel like you need to tackle her to stop her for.
Yeah.
It's something that is a little worm in the back of your mind at the very least.
Sure. Yeah.
Sorry, Jake. I think you should leave soundboard.
No.
Oh, no.
In Discord so bad.
Do it.
What is
you
it?
do.
There's
Are
no
you
download
sure?
for any of them, though.
Are you sure about that?
Oh, goddamn.
Wrong.
I don't think he's funny all the time. He's funny some of the time.
Oh, I think he's hilarious all the time.
I think I think the more you watch them, the consistently better they get too. It's great.
Anyway.
I didn't do nothing.
But yeah, that look passes quickly, and I'm like, okay, it's time to get out of here, and yeah, let's give this staff back to Remulus and see if he has any more information to share with us about what's happening in the plane of water.
All right, everybody gather around.
Thank you, Ziggy.
Thanks, Iggy.
And then I will
Thank
cast water breathing.
Nice.
It takes 10 minutes of me doing weird gurgle sounds.
Well, then do it.
So it's
Do
7.
it.
Michael, you have 9 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
You know what? I'm going to make it an instantaneous cast. Congratulations.
I don't know. This is really good. This could actually be one of Discord's sound effects. We just have to record it or like take the recording. Oh no!
Making me think of Anchorman when he's like blah, 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 blah.
I think that was Bruce
Kind of
Almighty.
thing.
The duck. God.
Oh, yeah.
Anywho. All right, so
Oh,
after
boy.
the casting of Breathe Water, what's up?
I think we're making our way to try and find Remulus.
Making our way downtown.
Yeah, as you guys head back down into the flooded tunnel, at sort of the where it opens up into the rest of the tunnel system, it looked like there were 2 Tritons that were just kind of waiting, standing guard there. And they kind of give you a nod and tell you that they'll bring you to see Remulus right away. And this time, Tommy, you recognize the way that they're going is sort of the route that you had searched last time towards that sort of what looks to be a sort of like city building rather than the city center that you were in previously. It's a little bit more private, secure than just the city center itself. And you're brought inside, and after a few minutes, you kind of see Remulus swim in after kind of dismissing somebody that he was talking to. And he swims in to float by you all, and says, I trust you all got sufficient rest, enough to recover from the trials of the day.
We did, thank you. Very comfortable.
Good.
Hotel
Well,
Tritonia.
Indeed, Ziggy.
well, I guess I should ask what the next steps are.
Were you able to find somebody that can send us a message to the Arakakra?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
And he kind of leaves the room again for a moment, just kind of like around the corner, and he motions for somebody to join you all. And another Triton comes in, and you all kind of convene, and he says, "All right, Zaire, what was the message that you were looking to send?"
Is this going to the Temple of Arius?
We had a couple individuals that we had been in communication with last. We had spoken with the Arakakra. We can try one of them and see if they're able to respond. Yes, at Crown's Peak, to answer your question.
Is there a limit on how many words I can say?
Yes. keep it as concise as possible. And we have a few days, but it's best to get the message across quickly.
You should say Tritonia has
like
been...
you're
Yeah.
and he'll kind of
Yeah.
down, so like you don't have to
You
be
should
like
say that Tritonia has been attacked. That they came through the plane of water. Mind flayers and forces of Oberius. They at the Crown Peak will know that name. Tell them that they fought them back, but more is coming at all of the planes, and that to do what they can to secure their gateway.
It takes a few minutes and kind of conveys that to the Triton that he's with. And there's kind of a pause as he sends the message. And then another pause as he kind of receives it. You kind of see a look on his face as if he's receiving word back. And he says, took a couple sending messages to convey everything, I think, but it sounds like the Aarakocra first expressed concern for the plane of water and the Tritons. They had faced a similar threat already. However, with their close ties with the Centaurian League, both the Aarakocra and the League responded swiftly to the incursion. It was a larger force that we had seen. Strange creatures that we were unfamiliar with, or that they were unfamiliar with. But again, they were dispatched with, and the League has taken up security of Sataria as its number one priority. And for the first time in perhaps history, it seems like there is a permanent presence atop the Crown's Peak Mountains from the Satarian League, in addition to the Aarakocra. So it seems like they're taking the threat quite seriously.
Did they describe what the other creatures that they were not familiar with looked like?
They didn't describe them specifically. Is there anything that you're concerned with them having faced?
Ask them if they looked like me and then describe me to them.
Okay. After another series of pauses and kind of you're kind of watching his expression as he's conveying the message and receiving response. He says, yes, actually, it seems
Fuck.
at least one that matched that description came through initially, though was lost before they could secure it.
Must have been the one that we saw on the winged lizard thing. Well, shit.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
So at least the Satarian League is taking this seriously. I don't know how much that can be said about the forces here. That you're kind of turning to the group. Is there anything else that we should communicate? Politics and leagues of defense packs are not really my strong suit.
I mean, is there any sort of protection that you can guarantee us or offer us as we continue on? We're in a really vulnerable spot, and we know none of this is stopping anytime soon. Is there anything you can provide us?
Well, think perhaps what we need most is information, allies, where perhaps there were none before.
Yeah.
If it's of interest to you, our eyes and ears on land have been tracking any significant interest in the plains, though specifically that of water, obviously. And we may have a source of information that we had up until this point considered as a potential threat, though perhaps it could be now an asset, or at least our best source of information. I think we can see. So, unfortunately, shortly after you all left, the captain also left the city on his own business, and shortly after that, we were obviously attacked, and but he is to return shortly, we believe. Perhaps he could be of some assistance, whatever you may be looking for next. I'm not sure.
Well, I don't think it would hurt to talk to him.
I would like to hear him speak again.
When
So-
you say return shortly, what do you mean?
He should be back within a few days, hopefully.
Can we borrow your orca friends to get us to the surface?
They can certainly carry you as far as land, if that's what you need.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting them to grow legs or anything.
No, they can return you to the shore.
Before we leave, I have one a final message to send. Now that we still have the connection open,
Mhm.
I would urge the Arakakra of Crownspeak to keep their minds open and seek enlightenment or other avenues for addressing this threat. The Satarian League may be powerful, but it might be forces that they have never even thought of before. And don't turn away from those who may be seeking to help. And tell them this message comes from Zaire, who is now a member of the Way of the Long Death. And tell them that they may be able to find allies where they least expect it.
We've conveyed already your name. I hope that was okay.
You sense a little bit of displeasure from him that you said his name. Just letting you know.
Yep.
Or like he, and that emphatically, he was like,
Yeah.
Aki-sasi.
We thought it best to open the dialogue with some assurance that this was coming from one of their own. But we will send that message back to them as well. I'd spoken of our person of interest, we'll call them. We have heard of some questions being asked, some research it seems being done to the north of Sordoom, near the Silver Bog. There's supposedly an individual who lives among the ruins there. Seems as though he's been looking into the elemental planes and the dangers that they pose to the world. Again, he was kind of we were concerned at first as to why. And that may still be a legitimate concern that we have, but maybe if you can find this individual, they would have perhaps more information. And if they've been interested in this particular field of study for some time, maybe they've even found something or have tools, weapons that could be used.
And do you know anything about this individual other than the fact that it is a person in the bog?
They are a hermit that we've only heard referred to as the Wolf's Fang.
Wolf's Fang?
It seems it's a nickname of sorts that those who've
Uh-oh.
interacted with.
Have any of us?
Whoa!
Is this name familiar? Can we do
Whoa!
any? Can we check?
The Wolf's
No?
Fang? Is that one
Yeah.
that you've heard?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make I guess a history check.
You're really close to a syndicate name.
Exactly. So 19?
Not an individual that you've come across. It does kind of spark
Okay.
that like Ice Fang Syndicate,
Mm-hmm.
Nomenclature. But not somebody that you've interacted with or that you've heard people speak of necessarily. But that is quite a ways to travel. I understand, Kami, that you may have some connections that may help you traverse that particular route via land, if that's something that you wish to utilize. That's up to you. Otherwise, perhaps you all can wait for the captain to return, and maybe he can be of service in ferrying you all through the
What?
Swiftwater Pass and the Salt River.
What is this then? What does Kami have? Sorry, what?
So the Silver Bog is obviously northeast Sordoom, and you're in southwest. So I think he's referring to the just the plains and the houses in general.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Can we get a map here?
Hmm?
Can we get a map on
Yeah, we can
Roll20?
take you guys back to the map. The map. The map. The map.
I'm
The
the
map.
man.
Okay, is it
Ooh.
very far above game? Is it normal to be able to recite that entire song?
No.
I just need to.
Is it? Wait, that's
like-
that's not everything. It's just on the map, right?
Oh no,
I think
No,
there's
it
we're
is.
Oh, I thought it was just on the
it's
map.
normal, right? Like at this age, it's normal.
Sure.
I don't know anything besides on the map. That's all I know.
I just know on the
Great.
map and swiping
Okay.
or swiping.
Dun, dun, dun.
And
No further
backpack.
questions. No further questions.
Backpack. Why you want to sing us the whole song?
Probably
Come on,
not.
Bailey. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. Come on.
I've done it to Jake, and Jake's like, "What the hell's wrong with you?"
it might also legit be trademarked. So.
Yeah, I can't sing that. Sorry.
Oh no!
Shoot.
It's darn that.
Dang it.
Okay.
Yeah, so essentially the two routes, if this is where you guys wanted to go, there's obviously a number of options, but the Transfordumian Highway does run up that way, sort of near the Silver Bog. You could go straight through the plains, or you could go south via like Nevis, and then up through the Great Salt River and Swiftwater Pass.
Hmm.
Or you can go all the way north and circle around the Columian Peninsula and then south and avoid the Great Salt River and Swiftwater Pass entirely. But you'd have to go all the way north and around.
That's so tempting just because I selfishly want to go to where the Dragonborn clans are as Jess. But we don't need to do that. Okay.
Yes, well, I'm sure we'll figure something out. Yes.
Well, should we wait for the captain then? As a way of visiting
seems like
this. Yeah. Go
it
ahead.
seems like you might be the fastest way to help us get to this bog man.
Okay.
Can't say I've ever been to a bog.
There are plenty of bogs in the Feywild, so I'll be back in my own, almost like being back in my own plane.
Well, it sounds like you will be Lucian one soon.
Okay.
Launch me into the sun.
Into the Nova, you
Turn me
mean?
into Icarus.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it makes the most sense for us to just take the highway up north and then turn east through the Midlands.
We could just go as the crow flies.
As the air cockroach flies.
Yeah.
Well, I will defer to those who are familiar with this landscape in terms of how we can get there the fastest, but I think we should get there as soon as we can to get some answers.
I'm a little tired of the sea,
Yeah.
to be completely honest.
No more water.
Water is essential for life.
Not
Okay,
when you
very
want.
good, Ziggy.
You're welcome. Don't know if you knew that, but
Now I do.
Smart. Ziggy, that was
Your
smart.
intelligence is paying off. See, look, you are smart.
you learn something
Good job.
every day.
So we will not
Well,
wait
I
for the
mean-
captain. That is what I'm hearing, Kami.
I mean, I don't know. If you want to wait for him to tell him that we don't need his boat.
I almost just want to wait for him so that I can hear that joyful man speak again.
But what if we told the captain to meet us? What if we asked him to
You could just
accompany us
you could
as a new
send him
ally?
literally anything, and we get at least 25 words of him speaking. So
Exactly. So we could ask him to meet us at the bog. Echo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bailey, I think it might be you.
Also, don't forget, we found this man in Gel Lida, where he typically resides. There's a chance we may beat him there before he even leaves.
truth.
Are you returning to Gel Lida?
Sure.
Well, we have to get back to the mainland somehow and get provisions and gear up for the journey up the entire continent. No, I said that to you as Kami when I'm talking to the DM.
No, that's fine. It's a little bit backwards, just so you're aware, because you're kind of like, again, by the mouth of the Shimmer Run is kind of where you have to go a little bit like kind of east and south, and then take the highway again.
Are
You
we
could do it.
are we taking the highway? Or are we gonna cut through your peeps place? Doe. I feel like that's more.
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out, because, I mean, we could, but we have to cut across the bare plain versus taking the highway straight north and then just cutting across the Midlands.
What's easier?
Also, Kami would know the highway is generally the safest, fastest,
Right.
mode of
Okay.
transportation.
Okay.
It is called the highway for that
Sold.
reason. It is well traveled. It is generally secured by sometimes the houses themselves, and it is very easy to traverse. There's no like difficult terrain that you'll come across during that, if that's of a concern.
So that's, yeah. In my head, I thought Tritonia was farther south, so I thought we were going to just go back to Gel Lida. But you're right, I forgot it was near.
Potentially acquire like horses and things to make the trip even faster if you needed to. If you went to Gel Lida, you've got options. Whatever you guys want to do.
Is there anything else in the city that we need to take care of before we head out again? I mean, we could check out the academy again. It was still technically one of our things, like on our list of where to start looking for things. Was further research in Gel Lida.
Yeah, I don't think it hurt.
Make sure that that captain hasn't overthrown the city government yet.
That part.
Oh yeah. Which captain are we talking about?
Captain of the city guard.
Oh. All right.
I think we're gonna head back to Gel Lida then and get what we need. Hit the
I would
road.
enjoy that.
Okay.
I also may be able to send a word to the order on the outskirts of our experience in Tritonia.
And do we want to go back to the academy for any reason while we're in Galita? Maybe talk
what
to
I
the
was wondering.
headmistress and see. Okay. And see if there's any information she has on this. Well, we know that she knows about not the planar cleansing, but planar travel.
I
Or
don't know.
this word, Novaborn.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It makes sense. We're about to travel the entire continent. We might as well tie up any loose ends while we're close by.
Mm-hmm. But Whirl, are you okay to go back to Galita, given that you are a person of interest to target?
I think I'm more than a person of interest. I think I'm in very bad shape. But I don't think I have much of a choice because I don't think I should be on my own either. I mean, I can put on some sort of disguise, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like I could still be detected. Better safe
We
than sorry.
just defeated 2 mind flayers. A group of thugs in the city streets doesn't worry me.
I like the confidence.
I mean, I've seen much worse. Okay.
You have to share some of your stories while we're on the road, Whirl.
I don't know if you could handle them, May.
Heyo.
There's only one way to find out.
As she's eating popcorn.
Yeah, literally.
Okay.
All right. Y'all are going to accept the offer of transport back all the way to Gel Lida.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then, yeah. Okay. So let's say, just for the sake of travel, you finish up in Tritonia, kind of say your goodbyes with Rimulus and his group of Tritons. They sort of help you guys mount up again, and sort of send you on your way. Getting back to Gel Lida, just via the water, you'd probably have to recast water breathing before you get back if you're
24
traveling.
hours?
Oh, it's 24 hours?
Yeah, when I cast it, it's 24 hours.
Oh, then no, you're good. I thought it was 8 hours.
No, that was a potion you gave
A
us.
potion.
Okay. Then yes, you're fine. It's a long trip is essentially what I'm saying though. To get you back there. And
On our trip, I have a little disguise kit which has cosmetics, hair dye, and small props. And I'm going to use as much of that as possible to try to disguise myself.
okay, I would say if you wanted to do that, you'd probably want to get dropped off like somewhere outside the city and then do it because trying to apply that in the water would probably be less than ideal.
Yeah, that's valid.
Do you guys want to get dropped off north or south of the city? We'll say, and then
Which side is the order on? Was the order on the north?
It's kind of east southeast, I think.
I'd vote
No.
south then, but
It's Northeast. Sorry, northeast.
Then I would go north.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we'll say you all kind of get dropped off. I'd say you're probably a couple of miles north of the city. And Whirl, you have a disguise kit, right?
Mm-hmm. I don't think I have proficiency with it.
That's hilarious.
There's a way to have proficiency.
Don't think you do either.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
It's like a
decide-
clown makeup.
I'm trying to
It's like if a
decide-
kid put
Exactly.
makeup on.
It's like the Joker.
I'll let you
no.
use sleight of hand though. Make a sleight of hand check for this.
Thank you. Very kind.
Uh-oh.
Oh no! Wait.
I rolled a 1. But I have a plus 11, so 12.
I mean, that's not bad. It could be worse.
+11? That's
Plus
so
11.
good.
Yeah, dude.
Damn.
So you guys are kind of hanging out while she's going through the whole process, trying to apply as much of sort of her disguise as she can. And when she's done, she kind of looks at you all and is kind of like, well, like, you know, how's it look? And she kind of looks like Whirl, but if she was wearing her grandma's makeup a little bit. Like a heavy smoker, like gray hair, very like purple makeup for some reason. Like a lot of purple shades. Heavy.
Oh,
eyeshadow.
no.
Yeah,
Oh, guys, come on.
It's
not
she doesn't
It's
really
like-
look like Whirl,
That's
Okay.
good.
but she doesn't look great.
She's Pearl, not Whirl.
Yes, Pearl is exactly what she looks like.
Okay, perfect.
You look really good.
Insight check.
You don't look good.
Oh. Well, I did what I can. I'm good at some things, but makeup is not one of them.
You're beautiful to me, Whirl.
Thank you, but that doesn't save my life, Ziggy.
It's
I
a
didn't say
fairly
it would.
effective disguise, but maybe not quite the one you were hoping for. We'll just say that.
Right.
Well, you don't look like you.
Exactly.
Um,
And I was just thinking, I'm kind of remembering that maybe me, Whirl, and Ziggy all stole from the academy last time we were there, right?
Yeah, but they don't know it was us. We got out of there without being seen, I'm pretty sure.
Okay,
We stole
we'll
things
be good.
and then skipped town and disappeared for a solid amount of time. I don't know if there's anyone else to blame.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I'm
a
just-
big city.
They might not. Yeah, exactly, Zaire. We'll just go there and find out.
so,
Okay.
All right.
did you all
Okay.
want to go back to the city, back to the order? You want to each do these things on your own?
I would stop. I would stop at the order and then go in the city, but I don't need people to come with me. If we want to split up and get stuff done, fine with that too.
What does the party want?
I will be going to the order. Anybody want to join me? And if not, we can meet somewhere later today.
I'll tag along with May in the library.
Mhm.
I have nowhere else to go, so.
Yeah, I'd rather go to the
Yeah.
library.
I'm gonna go talk to Star Lady and see if she knows what a Nova Born is.
Oh,
Yeah, I lied. I am coming with you to the order there.
Okay, I will be. As soon as we're done with the order, we can make our way to the library.
Sounds good.
And I'll go with Ziggy. So library and professor visit.
Gosh.
And that's what Bailey. Is that where you're going to?
All right. We'll start with Kami and Ziggy. Nope, sorry, Kami and Zaire. The Z names, man, they get me.
Hey.
We'll start with you guys. Sort of skirting the city a little bit as you kind of go around the sprawl and out eastwards towards where the order is. Yeah, you return to the now sort of familiar site, and I'm trying to remember who it was that you spoke with previously.
Have
I
it.
should have it.
I have it.
Oh,
Hazri.
that's right. Yeah.
Hazri is not, it seems, currently here. But there are some other members of the order, obviously around. If you wanted to speak with them, wasn't
I
sure what you were
want
looking
to go
for.
up to. Yeah, go up to one of them. When did you last see Hazri? Are you expecting him back soon?
I can't speak to exactly when he might be back, but he's generally not gone for too long. Can I help you with something in his stead?
Yes. I would like to send him a message or leave a message for him for when he returns.
Of course. What is it that you wish to let him know?
Tell him that Zaire was stopped by and will be in the city for a very short time. Headed up to the library next. If Hazri returns within the next 12 hours, please usher him as quickly as possible to that location or to try to find me. If not, tell him that what we feared is more widespread than what we originally thought, and that all of the planes are at threat by powerful forces of Oberius.
Understood. Will you be staying anywhere in the city, or is this just for the day?
What time of day is it?
At this point, it's probably late in the day by the time you guys get here after everything going on. I would say
imagine
late afternoon.
I'll imagine after the academy, we will be staying at the nearest Terrell Bluff establishment. So whichever one is the closest to the academy, probably that one. Although I know
The visionaries, right?
Yeah. Oh, it might be in the Visionaries. I don't know. And I'll turn to Kami. Is that the one we
So
like?
I won't be here while you're doing this. I would have gone off.
Got it. Then I'll just say, yeah, the Terrell Bluff place that's by the academy.
Very
That's
well.
it.
We'll send word, and if he needs you, we'll let him know where he can find you.
And then I guess after that, I don't know what Kami's doing, but I'll probably go. I have some incense. I'll light some incense. Open up my book and still pray and make some small kind of preparations for both the yet and still mortar as well.
Okay. Worth noting as well that while you're here with the order, if there's any components that you need to stock up on for spells and things, they will generally have those available to you while you're here. So
okay, let me look real quick.
I think incense is one that you would have to purchase on the regular normally.
Yeah, so if they have incense, I'll just purchase some as I light it. I'll purchase more.
You're just like it's something. You don't have to pay for it when you're in the order. As long
Okay,
as you're here, you can restock. They'll provide it for you. But if you're ever out somewhere else, you usually have to buy it.
Cool.
Yes, sorry, Maeve. I think we skipped over that part, but I believe that was glossed over. But you did hand the staff over, I believe. Was that the plan? Okay. Yeah, we kind of glossed
Yep.
over that. That was my
Alright.
fault. Kami, you kind of
So
walk
Kami's
with Zaire to the order, and then kind of just let him.
yes. And I'm gonna branch off and try and find some sort of area that looks like a holy area or a more retrospective portion of the monastery.
Yeah. So in this particular monastery, there is an emphasis on obviously life, death, undeath, all of that. So it's perhaps a little bit gloomier than the sort of holy sites that you've maybe seen previously. But it is sort of a more of like it's basically a graveyard is where it is. Within the
Fine.
monastery, it's got a central courtyard that's open, but it seems to have tombstones. If not, there's anybody buried there. It seems like a place of sort of memorial or
Is there a tree of any kind growing in the graveyard?
within the center of the courtyard. There is a large sort of think of like the what's it called, like the banyan grove tree almost.
Yeah.
Like sort of that kind of tree, but not obviously as large. But it's sort of it creates sort of a semi canopy over the center of the courtyard.
Okay. Kami's gonna make a beeline right for that tree.
Hmm?
He's gonna slowly kneel down, and he takes the giant, glaive off of his shoulder, looks at it for a little bit, sort of inspects the red fringe, kind of runs his fingers through a little bit, places it gently on the ground. Then he's gonna reach up and take off the clasp of the drop of amber with the little leaf suspended in it from his kin tree. I'm going to hold it in my hand, sort of look at it, and then close my hand and enter the Kinsfury state, or attempt to.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I should roll for that. It's a 2. So again, Salija, yep, Uncle's coming out. And then I'm going to manifest Echo to sort of give him, like, permanence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you kind of kneeling there, and you're sort of at the foot of the tree, and the echo that you manifest, sort of, you watch the shape of your uncle kind of step almost out of the tree, and kind of like stands above you as you're kind of kneeling, and his form is sort of one with the tree, but as he kind of steps out of it.
I'm going to stay kneeling on the ground, and I'm going to look up at him and say, hello, Uncle. I guess I should start by saying sorry for not calling upon you more in moments like this and not when I need you in battle. Last time I was here, I got some good advice that I should focus a little bit more inward. I can tell you and the others aren't as close to me as you once were. It's kind of funny that you're the one to be here right now in this moment. And I know you can't talk. I know you can't answer me. But before I left, I would hear from Mother about your story and what happened to you. And I know it was not a straight path for you either into finding glory with House Kvar, and they didn't quite keep you as close as they should have for a while. So I will say something to you now that maybe they should have told you a long time ago, and that is, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not appreciating you when you're here. Sorry for not. I'm sorry for taking you for granted. You and all of the others. We continue to walk what seems to be a more and more dangerous path, and I'm happy that I'm building friends and building allies, but I'm a Tovaro. At the end of the day, my family is my greatest defense network, and I was worried that I'll lose you before I need you most. So, just wanted to say that now. This seems like the right place to do it in the right time.
The sort of spiritual shape of Selidrith just kind of kneels in front of you, so you guys are almost now like sort of face to face. And you see in that moment what your mother always talked about with him. You were young when he had died and never really got a chance to know him as, you know, the man Selidrith. You've only kind of known him as he's appeared through the Kin's Fury. But you see now a lot of what your, like I said, what your mother had always talked about and sort of the dichotomy between the two of them. And it's something that you kind of feel yourself in that moment. Almost like a split. And May comes to mind in that moment as well. As you're sitting here in front of sort of family, the family that you think about, sort of that you have that tie to, and the one that you sort of discovered afterwards. And in a similar way, you're kind of discovering that here with Selidrith. And there's a renewed confidence in that for you. In a lot of ways, you have struggled with, obviously, the situation that you've been in with your own family. And sort of, I guess, maybe speaking out loud what your own uncle had gone through. It solidifies something in you as a Tavoro, as a Kinsblade, as a person. And as the sort of image of your uncle sort of fades, that echo sort of fades, you feel at least a part of this sort of new presence within your sort of, I don't know, consciousness a little bit. And it's comforting.
Good deal.
Zaire, as you finish up with Urius, who's the one stepping in for Hasri at the moment, you leave to go look for Kami, and you find him still kind of knelt at the tree. I mean, at this point, the interaction that you had is over, but I think for a moment you find just kind of peace in being where you are at that point.
Yeah, I would linger.
You come out to see him, just kind of not speaking or saying anything in particular, just kind of seemingly in a what you might consider a state of meditation, but for him is maybe something else. But
yeah, Zaire's gonna just kind of notice what's happening and give him space until he makes a move, stands up, starts to walk away.
Yeah, I'll turn up and I'll turn up. I'll get up and I'll turn around. I'll see Zaire, and I'll sort of maybe restart a little bit. That someone kind of caught me in a little bit of a vulnerable moment.
Mhm.
Oh, feathers. You know, a graveyard here in the middle of a temple of life and death is a little on the nose, don't you think?
For as long as you've known me, you know I'm very on the nose. So it's only fitting.
And the beak, but yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I'm not there, but I wanted to make the joke.
Well, we shouldn't let our friends wait too long. And then with this, like a little bit of a sly smile, I'll just kind of put one hand on his shoulder and say, "You look restored. There's much to be learned from death. I've always told you." And turn and just walk away. Like happy.
And you'll
like,
just kind of, yeah, Kami will smirk back to himself and just follow behind you.
Proselytizing, yay.
Come, minions, follow me.
Okay. Other half, we'll jump over to you all. Before Kami and Zaire make it back to the city, what were you all going to be doing in that time?
I ain't doing shit.
I'm hiding. I'm literally just hiding in whatever dark corner.
They have the worst day at their job.
I want to talk to Star Lady.
And I'm traveling with Ziggy to do so.
I'm with
Okay.
them, but very silently in the shadows,
Okay.
hiding.
Just give me a.
I'm just picturing your.
Let's just
Yeah.
see where. Is this weird old lady stalking them, or is she just
Okay, what are we doing? Still not a good roll, but with my plus 11, I rolled an 11 plus 11, so 22.
Ooh.
to be noticed if you don't want to be? We'll say. Obviously not invisible. Your friends can sort of pick you out so long as you want them to, but anybody that you're trying to stay out of sight of, pretty good chance that you're gonna remain unseen.
Cool.
It's like functional invisibility is basically what you have as a rogue.
Honestly, I'm here for it. Sounds
Crazy.
great.
All right. Yeah, actually that is kind of crazy. Like rogues borderline just have invisibility like as a cantrip.
Honestly. Yeah. My sleight of hand and my stealth. And my acrobatics plus 11.
Well, also, because rogues get up to a certain level where they get, was it reliable talent?
Yeah.
Where you literally can't roll below a 10.
Oh, wow.
So then you're basically, a stealth roll for you defaults to a 21.
Wow.
Which is more, and like, less, like the
Thanks,
regular
Vicky.
invisibility spell is like you can't attack or whatever, and then you're seen, like, as soon as you attack, you're seen, which is the same thing as hiding with stealth. So, like,
I'm blind.
it's basically invisibility is a cantrip. That's crazy.
Yep.
That's so cool.
Anyways. Yeah, just my first character was a rogue, so I have a little bit of still have some love for the rogues.
I like it. I like it. Big fan.
Your only character, Eric. You still never played again.
Technically, my first character was the paladin.
Sure, your first character
You got
lasted
killed.
2.5 hours.
But I didn't even finish the session with him.
Yeah, because you
And
killed
then it
him,
was
Theo.
rogue.
R.I.P. Yeah, Theo, because you are the one. You're the reason he died.
I didn't kill him. I like Scar Mufasa him where like he reached his hand and I said nope.
More or less.
Totally different. Yeah.
Yeah, and Scar totally didn't kill Mufasa.
Yeah.
Whereas like Scar organized the Buffalo Stampede, I happened upon the Buffalo Stampede and did not pull him up.
Oh, you were Simba.
Yes.
Oh.
Anyway.
Mhm.
Oh, Kenai. Hey, Betty.
Ziggy, you are looking for Professor Deming, is that right?
Yeah, Professor Demink.
Or
Headmistress, Ziggy. Who do we want to see first?
Two. There's
No,
Professor Deming, who you're
I want
super
to see
chill
both
with.
of them. Professor Demink would know star stuff, and then I would ask creepy touchy lady.
Yeah, which I can't remember their names now. I'd have to go back. Which I can do.
Yeah, do you
later.
have them handy? The names? Yeah.
Creepy touchy
I really
lady.
should create like just a list. They're all in my notes, but my notes are so disorganized. I have to know the date that you guys interacted with these people, or else I won't.
Gudra. Gudra's the touchy feely lady.
That's right.
Or Gedra. Professor Lathena Gudra. Bestial studies at the academy.
Okay, so you want
Well,
Professor Demink first?
Yeah, let's go good then bad.
Okay. Getting into the academy, no big deal at this point. At least nobody stops you. And you make your way to Professor Demink's observatory and classroom. And as you enter the room, you see her seemingly like just digging through books and papers and things that she has, and then rushing to what looks to be a giant telescope, essentially, in the room, and then back to her notes and things, and she doesn't even notice that you guys have entered the room.
What's up, Professor?
She's kind of startled for a minute as she's like in the midst of like looking through the telescope. And you can see she has like a ring around her eye. It looks like she's just been like repeatedly like going back to the telescope and then back, and then like maybe she hit her eye at one point. Who knows? But like has been very excited and like just working consistently. So in addition to just the ring, she's got like bags under her eyes. And she sees you all standing there and she says, "Oh, Ziggy, you startled me. How long have you been here?"
We just got back to town. I just wanted to come say hi, see how the research is going, and then maybe ask you a question or something.
The research is going, I have to say. Things have been changing. Things have been, they've been, I don't know. I think we're watching history unfold. This is,
Good changing, bad changing, good history, bad history.
when it comes to the stars, it's tough to say good from bad. But
Stop.
there's stars where none existed before. Stars that existed since the beginning of time seem to have gone out. And there's seemingly falling stars and meteor showers happening regularly. It's all, we're just trying to take it all in and record it all right now. Have you noticed anything else different? You've always
No,
had a connection.
noticed? No. Been told? Maybe?
What have you been told?
Um, I
She
was,
like has like a notebook. She's like looking like she's prepared to take notes at whatever it
I
is that you say.
mean, it's just one word, but I would, I was referred to as a Nova born.
A Nova born.
Does that make any sense to you?
Well, not really.
Well, damn.
The Nova is, as far as I'm aware, there's the space between sort of the stars themselves, and that's kind of we've referred to that as the nova sometimes. Collectively,
Okay.
you've got the nova and there's stars within it, but the stars themselves are stars, and then everything else would just be the nova.
Okay. I looked at May and be like, does that make sense to you?
Do you have any books on the Nova?
I've been studying Professor Mann's work, and that's interesting if you put it in that context. Do you recall what Professor Mann's was working on? There seemed to be
Yeah,
yeah,
stars and bringing people back to life and shit, right?
well, that was one use that he was attempting to use it for, but it stemmed from the stars themselves as being tethers, and the tethers provided immense amounts of radiant energy that he drew upon to attempt his experiments with undeath. But the initial premise of that was these tethers were bridges, so to speak, between and the term Novaborn could mean that perhaps you are not from any plane, but rather some sort of manifestation of that energy.
That's confusing. Okay.
Maeve, what else did they say when they mentioned?
She like startles again because she didn't see you were also in the room.
Hey, sorry.
Oh, you made a new friend.
Yeah.
Yes,
Very new friend. Good to meet
Well,
This
you.
I
is-
apologize.
this is Pearl.
I'm Pearl.
Professor Demink, it's quite nice to meet you. I always like to meet friends of Ziggy's.
Good to meet you.
Yeah, I'm dope.
May, what else did they say about Novaborn? Something.
Well, they said don't corrupt the Novaborn.
They can't
Is there?
be.
Yeah, can
Right?
and what you know about Nova, right? Can they? What can be corrupted? How could he be corrupted?
Well, what even is corruption, dude?
All of this that I'm telling you now it's pure speculation off of what I've come to know so far. I couldn't begin to who even said this.
Some illithid?
An illithid. Ziggy, what trouble have you gotten into since you've been gone?
Stuff, man.
Well, that seems
I don't want to get
unlikely.
you involved because I don't like, plausible deniability and all that. The less you know, the better kind of thing.
Sure.
But
Well, I appreciate
let's
that.
just say,
Same comment.
whatever you're seeing happening in terms of what you're seeing in the sky, we might be in the thick of it.
Yeah.
What have you discovered any effects of it or anything you know about it would be intriguing. I'd love to know more.
Oh,
Uh, well, I don't know if like this I don't know if this is useful to you, but there's another one of me that came through the portal of air. So I don't know if like we're getting popped into different planes or what. But there are more of me, so like I guess it can happen. Whatever made me, it can do it again or something. I don't know. My brain hurts.
It would be much easier if we knew from where you originated. How did you get here?
Well, I told you, I woke up in the Silver Bog one day and just started walking around. I was
Oh
like,
no, of course. But how you got there, I mean, obviously you don't know, but it would be
yeah,
if
yeah,
this other individual came through the portal of air, did you perhaps get here through one of the portals?
that's a good question. Is there a portal near the Silver Bog?
There may be, but
yeah. I think I remember there was one there when I did the portal research.
why would you have just woken up? Why would you not remember coming through?
Your guess is good as mine, dude.
No, I know, of course. More questions than answers, it seems these days. But anyway, I think I've gotten off topic. You all came here for
No, that was
something,
it. That was about it.
just the Novaborn thing.
Yeah. But your research is going well? Like the money I gave you helped?
She kind of motions to the giant telescope that is new.
Yeah.
Yes, very helpful. And just in time, given everything that's happening. I'm witnessing
Cool.
it firsthand. It is unlike anything you could possibly imagine. I'm just simply trying to keep up at this point and decipher what it means once I've caught up. It's
Well, if you figure
all
stuff
too good.
out, would you let us know? Because I feel like whatever we're doing is like somehow intertwined with it all.
Yeah,
Certainly.
where
Always
can
happy
we?
to let you know.
How can we best reach you? Just come back here.
Well, I'm always here at the academy. If you have any way to reach the academy, they can reach me.
Okay.
And is there anything that you're expecting is going to happen soon based on what you're seeing in the sky? Any sort
I
of
couldn't
big event of any kind?
I couldn't begin to guess. As I said, I'm recording everything. I'm trying to just get
Hmm.
we have new constellations, new patterns in the sky that were never there before. I'm just trying to record them all as it's changing. It's like trying to catch water with a fork right now.
It's like trying to catch smoke. It's like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands.
That too.
What does it mean for there to be changing constellations exactly? Like new what is happening? Like what I know that you're still trying to figure it out, but what does it mean for there to be new constellations for
If
us?
Professor Mon's theory was correct, it may mean shifts in the space between the planes and new avenues between them. Perhaps ones that didn't exist before. Perhaps some have closed that did exist. It's
Ah.
If that is the case, then it would be incredible. New highways between the dimensions.
Hmm.
If Professor Mons's theory was incorrect, and perhaps not quite what he had expected, then I think we're seeing a reshaping of the universe. And what that means is to be determined, I think.
Hmm. Great.
TBD
You seem
indeed.
yeah. You seem pretty excited about it. You don't have any concerns about what you're seeing?
Wouldn't even know what to be concerned about. It's just I'm doing my best to take it all in and record it all for us to study if and when it eventually
Hmm.
becomes what it will be. It's
Hmm.
just in flux right now. We need it to settle down and then we can begin to determine what it means.
Hmm.
Well, this was enlightening. Not at all scary.
I know. It's amazing, isn't it?
Something like that.
She kind of excitedly
Who
is
are
looking
you
between the three of you, like looking for that shared excitement in your eyes, and she
I
like
just
gets it from Ziggy, but that's
I
about it.
smile and give her a thumbs up.
May is trying her best to fake it, so she's trying to like fake it, but she's not very good at that. But she's gonna like, okay, who else are you working with? Like, who are you sharing this research with? Like, this is really amazing that all the planes are possibly coming together. We're just in the midst of collecting all this information. So, like, who are your thought partners in this? Like, who else knows?
Well, we've got some other professors here at the academy. The academy itself is obviously a sponsor of the work and therefore privy to it. But at the moment, I think we're doing our best to record it all, and perhaps we'll reach out to others and see if they've recorded similar things, or maybe they have some other knowledge about what it might mean. That's all I think to come.
Okay, wow.
Whirl is very much not putting on a fake front and just looks horrified.
He doesn't even pick up on it.
Great. Perfect.
He's just in the excited lane, going 100 miles an hour.
Wonderful. Well, this has been great.
We did it. I mean, we can. Yeah, we'll go now. You can go back to your looking through things. And I'm gonna walk up to her and I'll cure wounds her eye. It's like that looked like it
She really
hurt.
reaches up, like she didn't even really notice that there was anything wrong. She was up. What was that?
Your eye looked like it hurt.
Well, been going for a while. Perhaps I do have some bags under my eyes.
Lesser restoration.
She looks even more rejuvenated and just like her energy, which was already high, is now tripled.
Great.
Get back to it, Prof.
Yeah. And Maze looks very a little nervous right now, and I just think we could all get answers too if you want to. I'm going to cast suggestion.
Ooh.
Take us to the restricted part of the library. We could all go together.
Here we go again. Oh boy.
I do not like that you're taking advantage of my friends, Miss Ambitious One.
A lot of red flags from Jess today. Lots of red flags.
Seriously.
What's
A lot of
happening?
unilateral decisions.
May.
What's the saving throw?
It is wisdom 16.
Ooh, she rolled a 17.
Right. It doesn't say anything in the spell about her knowing that I cast it.
Yeah, but you have to cast the spell.
Yeah, I mean, you're just suggesting it, so it doesn't necessarily know that
Mhm.
she knows that you were trying to get her to bring you there, but she doesn't necessarily know that you're trying to magically influence her in doing it. I'll say.
Mm-hmm.
Also, take a moment of congratulations. Jess read her spell.
Yeah.
Hey.
She goes, well, it is a time of knowledge. Sure, I'll bring you.
Didn't even.
It is, isn't it? And we.
I'm gonna do it anyway and just like dominate person. It's like
Wow.
I'm gonna make her do it.
Amazing.
Ziggy, I think this is an exciting time, and if we can all agree, keep it between us. I think perhaps sharing knowledge now is not the time to stand in between information and somebody who might know what to do with it.
Yeah, man. Down with the people telling people what to do.
So,
snaps for academic accessibility. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey.
Proud.
We
They always
support
say,
that
like,
here on Homebrew Advantage.
if you go directly to the author of a paper, you don't have to pay for it, unlike JSTOR.
It's
I
very
know,
true.
I love that workaround. I love that workaround so much. It cracks me up.
They
Yeah,
will-
anyway.
They will give it to you.
Give me a moment. Wait here. And she kind of scurries out of the
Insight check.
room.
Hey, yeah, I don't know if I trust her.
Yo,
Go ahead.
I trust this lady with my life.
16.
Jess?
Yeah. Oh, I rolled lower than that.
Besides being somewhat manic, she doesn't seem untrustworthy.
Great. Weird.
Yeah, so you guys are there for, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes or so until she returns. And she says, well, I think we should be unbothered for the time being. So, what is it you're looking for? Maybe I can, and she starts walking with you guys down the hall. She says, maybe I can be of assistance. And providing or finding the information. It's a new place for you all to be doing research. What is there anything I can help you guys find?
I don't do books. Talk to that one.
There's a lot of information. Whirl, you were also. I mean, Pearl.
Easy.
Pearl.
Easy. Easy.
Pearl. You're also.
Pearl, I mean Celia. Like,
What's your name?
Pearl.
Three names so far.
Well, I think that we're looking for any information that we can find on the Novaborn, or any information that we can find on potentially planes coming closer together and what the implications of that are. And then some information on something of personal interest that I think I need to research on my own.
Yeah.
But let's start with those other two.
No more secrets. We said this in the group. We said no more secrets. I look
Yeah.
at you sternly and I say it.
they did say that. The voice of Kami echoes in her head.
The voice of your conscience, which sounds strikingly like Kami.
That was discussed by the group. Yes, that's true.
Okay.
To be fair, you also have a member that's currently with you that is not a part of your group. Just
Yeah.
to be fair.
But
You said no more secrets.
I did. It's just that Professor, we have some big enemies who are about to stand against us. You've got to have heard about them on the winds. So
I don't, how would you say, get out much?
Yeah, I was gonna say literally
Right,
those
so-
same words.
One thing.
So-
Hey, I don't think we need to, explain everything.
I think that if you could lead us there for those two other pieces, and if you could let us have some time on our own to find some information, that would be most appreciative, because we're all in it just for the knowledge and for us to find information that can help make the world a better place.
I want to learn more about stars too.
Sounds like
Mm-hmm.
good causes all around. And before you kind of realize where she'd been leading you, you find yourselves at sort of the bottom of this stairwell. And she kind of pushes on. So the stairwell kind of comes down into sort of a basement area. And as you kind of like loop back around to like what would be essentially under the stairs, she pushes on the stone, and it sort of like swings inward. And she says, "This is back entrance into the restricted archives. I've used it just for ease of access. Sometimes, procedures can be cumbersome. So this is my own personal way to get in.
My girl.
It should be clear for the time being, but I can't promise it'll stay that way. So perhaps best to do the research you're looking for and leave as quickly as possible.
Okay.
So, if you guys are going to be conducting research,
Dewey Decimal System.
kind of the investigation again. I'm trying to think of like a better check for this.
I'm just here for the ride.
So
I will.
first,
I will cast Pass Without a Trace on us. I will do that.
Okay.
Okay. World, do you want to go look, Pearl? Do you want to go look for the Nova board information? If you go look, let's divide and conquer. You go look for that information. I'm gonna go look for other information about the stars.
Insight check. Is she trying to get rid of me right now?
I'll let you roll an insight check, and then Jess, you can roll persuasion or
I will
deception.
also.
Great.
I will
Mark that
also
you're
roll
okay.
insight on that.
Ziggy, you said you didn't care.
We literally were talking about you keeping information from us.
I rolled a 19, baby.
Ooh.
I rolled a
And this is
26.
Oh, Brett.
Persuasion or deception? It's up to you. You don't have to tell us which,
okay.
but just tell us the result.
I failed.
Okay.
Both or just mine?
Both.
Is this something that you
Gosh.
are trying to? You're trying to determine if she's trying to get rid of you, essentially, Whirl?
Yeah. Like she's
Mhm.
trying to push me to a different area.
What do they pick up on?
I am trying to get away from you.
Okay. I'm gonna pretend like I don't notice that.
I am not gonna do that. May.
Okay, you can come, Ziggy. But we do have to divide and conquer.
Yeah, I'm not good
Whatever
at
you-
looking for things anyway, so like
Okay, Ziggy, then you come with me. I will fill you in. I just don't want the professor.
they're not
Yeah,
here.
no,
We're in the
totally.
library by ourselves at this point.
Whatever you say, I'll
Professor's
go.
still in with you, but like
Okay.
you can watch essentially.
Okay.
I'll go over here. It's no big.
Okay. Okay.
Ziggy,
Novaborn.
with your perception as well, you notice that she kind of starts to keep watch, but then gets distracted and starts like reading some of like the books and things that are here.
Yeah, that tracks.
So,
Yeah.
Okay, give me Whirl and May. Let's do investigations for each of you, and then we'll go over what you're looking for and what you find.
Hey.
15.
17?
Okay. Whirl, we'll start with you. You are looking for what? Anything related to Novaborn or what that might mean?
Well, yeah, I told her I was doing that, but I am not doing that.
Wow. Okay.
I'm
What are you
gonna
looking for?
go. I'm gonna go. Well, I'm gonna go just out of sight of where they are, and then I'm
Mhm.
gonna try to sneakily check into what she's reading up on, what section she's in, and what.
Give me a stealth check. Add your modifier and then add 10.
Yeah, she technically has passed without a trace, which works against us.
So I only rolled a 10, but I have plus 11,
Yeah, 31.
so 21.
31.
Is
Plus
31.
another 10 is 31. Okay.
Okay.
May,
Wait,
you rolled a 17.
I
What is
think
it that you're looking for?
technically, with her stealth and pass without a trace, my passive insight could never reach her.
Passive perception? No, never.
Okay,
She
so
literally,
I'm
if
looking.
you
Minimum
want to not be
21.
seen with you can't see her.
Okay, so I'm looking for the information that I couldn't find when I was just in the normal academy. So that's information on Oberius and how to take them down. It's information on the planes and what it means for them to be coming closer together. And any implications of that for the group. And then it's about the blade song and more information about what it is, how to activate it, and yeah, just any information that the restricted section has.
Cool.
Yes, but we haven't checked
And then,
the
of course,
restricted section.
the restricted section, and then Novaborn and what the Novaborn are, or just like more information about Ziggy's race and like where they're from.
Yeah.
Okay.
I help get the books from the tall shelves. That's
Ew.
about all I can do.
All right. So let's start with. That was a lot. We're gonna start with the planes. Let's go with that first.
Okay.
So some of what you're reading and stuff you already kind of know. They talk about the first convergence, and the War of the Convergence, which was when the plane of Praetorium essentially was brought in contact with the terrestrial plane, which is referred to, at least in some instances, as Criare's Garden. This was essentially the plane that she had put her energy into for her children. that made sorry, let me grab my notes real quick just so I don't miss anything.
Wait, I have to do this. Lore drop! Lore drop time! Let's go!
Yes, so the world that she created for her children made Praetor mad and jealous, essentially, and attempted to combine the hellscape that he created with this plane to essentially take over both. And so that was the initial convergence. The two planes were essentially brought together by sheer like force of will from Praetor. And it created a sort of like overlapping effect. So when looking at what's currently happening, discussing like planes converging again, it depends sort of on the plane that is coming into contact with this one. It allows for sort of the free transition between them for beings that are able to or have the knowledge to or else just have the sheer power to essentially plane shift. As they become closer, that ability is going to become easier and more accessible to a number of beings. So as planes converge, movement between them becomes easier.
Okay.
If the planes converge entirely, it's possible for one to completely consume the other and essentially wipe it out if they collide. It becomes essentially a competition of sheer energy, and whichever one has more will essentially obliterate the other if they become too close. So when Praetor was attempting to converge the planes initially, he had to be very careful not to entirely wipe out one or the other, which ended up being kind of a key factor in his defeat, was because he was trying so hard to maintain that balance that eventually Praetorium was completely like pulled back, and so Praetorium still exists but is no longer close enough for like a free transfer between the planes. And so those that were here initially remained on the plane when they were brought together, and any others that have essentially spawned are just through the sheer power of Praetor or plane shifting them across that boundary. So I think that kind of, is there any other thing that you're looking for in regarding sort of the planes and what a convergence might mean?
How Oberius is bringing them closer together. Like, how is there any insight on that, into how he's doing it?
Again, what you are able to read is that that kind of thing requires an immense amount of energy. So it doesn't, there's nothing there about how he's currently doing it because nobody necessarily knows that he is yet. That seems to be something that's still being uncovered by you all. But however he is doing it, he has to be somehow harnessing or else channeling something significantly more powerful than even himself, most likely. Yeah.
Okay.
But nobody really knows how. Okay, what else were you looking for? Blade Song? Yeah, so you find information about just the Blade Song in general. It's a lot of myth that you already kind of know, but you didn't know that it was known necessarily by others, right? Like, it is a essentially very powerful weapon. But you read on it, in addition, it is itself not a tangible thing. It is a state that one can achieve, and in doing so turns them into a very powerful, very dangerous being, essentially. and it turns them into a living weapon. So anybody who can attain that or figure out how to enter that state would have access to an immense amount of power and be a significant threat. What exists currently is just an attempt at sort of emulating that. So Blade Singer wizards they've created a very dangerous form of magic, but it's nothing compared to what the Blade Song is purported to be. As far as achieving that state, few throughout history have actually ever done it. Even your father, who studied it his entire life, never actually achieved that state. But it was rumored that there were still some who knew what it took, even if they couldn't do it themselves. There's also some things in there that to truly achieve the Blade Song requires immense personal sacrifice in the form of just sheer pain to achieve it, right? Power, energy that it would take to achieve that state. So it is dangerous to the wielder and difficult even to access. But again, most of this is speculation. People don't necessarily know. Yeah, so that's Blade Song. What else are we looking for?
Whirl is going to pop out of the shadows with a book in her hand about stars, but say, "Why are you reading about that, May? I found my book."
Got him.
I just think if Oberius is the threat that he is, which is an enormous threat, he's going to be searching for weapons, and so we should be aware of every weapon he could possibly have in his arsenal, including this one. Are you familiar with it? Do you know what it is?
Oh, I'm pretty familiar. Did a little bit of research the last time we were here. I noticed that you knew a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Just interesting that you're looking into it again if you know it so well already.
Yeah. Well,
Ziggy's just like watching them. Like, can I actually roll an insight to be like, is this like a thing?
Give me an insight check first.
Also, I would like to point out that Zaire and Kami's time together was very wholesome and touched on some deep moments. Meanwhile, this is just like, you crazy bitch! What are you doing?
Lie.
I know.
liar.
Deep emotional moments, reality TV show. We bring it all.
Which agrees. Well,
I thought we were being honest, May.
Yeah, I rolled natural 20.
What you pick up on is like you know that they're both just not saying whatever it is that they're
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they're saying, but like they're clearly not saying it.
Like, it's just all double talk, and you don't really know why, but you're like, clearly they're both just like not being truthful.
May, I was honest with you. I told you what I'm here for. I've been in some not great things. I'm trying to learn what's going on just as much as you are. But you're not telling me the truth, and I don't like that.
Me neither, honestly. Like, yeah, did Whirl lie to us? Yes.
I did. Yep, definitely did.
And then now she's not. And then you were all like, don't lie to me. Everyone should be honest. And now you're lying. Not cool. Yeah. We call that a hypocrite.
That street smart, Ziggy. Brilliant.
May's going to take the book that she's holding and like fold it and sort of curl it into her chest, look down because she's been called out. You're like, okay, okay, we've been through enough where we need to trust each other. And you're right. So I can tell you this. We need to stop Oberius from ever getting the Blade Song. I know he's after it. And I know that it's one of the most powerful weapons, and so I want to understand it more. I think we need to understand what it is so that we can prevent him from getting his hands on it. And that is the truth.
I totally agree with you.
I could have shared it with you earlier. I just know that it's a really powerful weapon.
May,
and I'm not even sure where to start.
May, do you know the Blade Song?
Well, I am a blade singer wizard. So I don't know the Blade Song. But I'm a part of the order in which we're trying to emulate it. Far, far from the actual Blade Song. I mean, it says written here, and I open up the book and I show you, I'm sharing the knowledge. It says here that it's not even proven if anyone can even reach this state. But if Oberius has any wizards in his arsenal who are Blade Singer wizards, and he gets his hands on how to bring the Blade Song to life, then he will be the most powerful person across all the planes, and he will be unstoppable.
Well, what if we beat him to that knowledge? What if we figure out what it takes in order to get it to the Blade Song? And then we can use it if we need to. We can use it against him. We can get rid of it. I mean, how do we do that? Is there anyone else who's achieved it?
We can keep it safe. I don't know of anyone. Does the book say anyone that we can reach out to learn more about it?
There's no names. There is, again, speculation.
You're telling me there's not an author page with someone in a pose like this?
Like, sorry, go ahead.
Speculation that the secret may have been entrusted at one point to the Dragonborn as sort of a neutral, like, middle ground. But if that was the case, it seems that anybody who may have at one point known it is gone, been corrupted, or otherwise allowed that secret to die and pass on. There's additional, like, people have thought that the again, all speculation, but the in the Obsidian Desert, those who forge the fervor glass, people think that maybe there's a connection between the fervor glass and the blade song, sort of similar abilities and powers there. Some people write that in order to achieve the state of the blade song, you have to climb to the top of Pramitus Mountain, and it's like a whole spiritual thing rather than an actual, like, you know, sort of quote unquote scientific arcane ability. It's really more spiritual. So there's a lot of just conflicting possibilities, but those are some of the sort of speculations that are out there at the moment. And they're conveyed in what you're reading in a very sort of scholarly way as myth speculation, what people have talked about.
Well, where do we go from here, May?
How many pages in this book have the information on the Blade Song on it?
I'd say it's kind of interspersed throughout various other things. It being sort of, again, almost a mythological idea. there's not a ton of space dedicated to it specifically. It's mentioned in the context of other things or in stories that are included here, things like that. Yeah. But it's worth noting there are some, it seems like a lot of the pages that have information on the Blade Song have been dog-eared or
Yeah, I know it. Okay.
scribbles on it, circle, like underline things. Seems like there's been some attention paid.
I think someone else in the library is looking for this. Someone else in the academy is curious about this. I think they'll notice if we take the book, but I think we should know. I think we should be careful who we're talking to here about this.
I mean,
I put the book back.
between the star thing and her not having any, was it a guy or a girl? The teacher, star person,
lady,
girl. She didn't seem to have any concern about the things we were raising. Between that and then
as you're saying this, you hear a loud clunk, and you hear kind of a stifled yelp, and Professor Jermaine comes like running back to you all, and she goes, "We need to go. Somebody's coming in right now. We need to go out the back immediately."
May I grab the book? May I grab the book?
I take the book. Ah! I take the book and I cast invisibility on dun, 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 on. Can I do it on all of us? Bum, bum, bum. Only on three of us.
Great.
So me, World, you are invisible.
Okay.
But we're holding on to the professor. We're like, we're here. We're still here. Get us out of here.
She ushers you out the back the way that you guys all came in, and you see kind of light extend into the space from seeming a front door that has become unlocked and opened, before eventually Professor Domain kind of closes the sort of secret passage entrance in the back. And you guys are at the bottom of the stairwell where you first came down.
Professor, who was that?
Oh, I don't know. Somebody was just coming into the, and we weren't supposed to be there, so I thought it best if we make an exit.
Insight check.
Go ahead, make an insight check.
Ooh.
Conversation.
No one's trusting anybody right
No.
now.
Oh, no, that's
Not a
enough.
social trust.
I want to do an insight check, but I know that Ziggy trusts
have-
her wholeheartedly.
Yeah, I rolled a 9.
I'm going to do insight. Oh, I rolled 9 3 times in a row, so that's only 15 for me.
I mean, she's moving with an urgency that suggests she's trying to prevent you all from being caught at the moment.
Okay.
She's also not looking at any of you because she can't see you.
Right.
Speaking to an empty space at the moment.
Well, we better be on our way.
Clearly, you're behind her. She's speaking in the complete other direction. She says, sorry, Scout just came down. He's very cute.
Aww.
Can
you pick him up?
Let me see if he'll let.
Puppy time.
A quick aside, Coda is outside, so she's sitting.
Oh my gosh, so cute, so big.
Whose dog is that?
Oh,
That's Morgan's.
so
big
cute.
now. What the heck?
Where's Coda?
Coda's laying outside of our back window, literally laying, just staring at me, like looking from outside into me. And I've gone out multiple times being like, do you want to go inside? No, she just wants to just lay out there.
And stare at you. Cutie.
But yeah, no, so Professor Mink, speaking in the complete wrong direction, not facing you guys at all, says, yes, perhaps it's best if we separate for now. Ziggy, come see me if you learn anything new.
You got it, Prof.
Professor, thank you. Truly.
I hope the information you found here is helpful.
It's
Tell
something.
no one where you got it.
Wasn't from you. Okay. So let's get out of here. This is at least less eventful than last time, right?
I
You know,
don't
no
know
one's
about
chasing
that.
us.
What
Good for
last
you.
time?
So as you guys kind of make your way out, you end up stumbling upon Kami and Zaire, who are seemingly just wandering the academy looking for you all, as you said that you'd be meeting up, but we're not where you said you'd be.
Oops.
But you all are still invisible, so, you know.
Oh. I'm going to go up behind Zaire and tap him on the shoulder.
Zaire's gonna make an opportunity to make an attack.
Oh.
She'll like, ah.
Roll an attack with disadvantage.
Just like a feathered wing, just like smacks out.
No. That's a 15 to hit.
I believe that misses.
Misses.
So you see Zaire react instinctively, it seems, and kind of lash out at you with an unarmed strike, the way only a monk really would. First instinct, hit it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then he's gonna go, whirl.
Hi.
Hi!
Oh.
Hi! I'm Paul!
I'm Paul.
I'm glad someone else got the hi, I'm Paul, so.
Is it just you?
No.
Or
It's all three of us. We're here.
I give you an invisible hug.
and this is Ziggy. Okay. Well, are we? Do we have any more business here, or shall we? I know it's getting late. Maybe we can head to a Terrell Bluff establishment close by.
Yeah. Good team bonding today, guys.
Okay, great. Well,
Let's get out of here.
Ziggy, you can let go of me now. You're starting to squeeze me a little hard, buddy.
Sorry, I forgot birds have brittle bones.
No, thanks. Well, we had a nice time. How was your guys' little adventure?
It was
was
quite
great.
something.
Great. We got information. So, like, we got into the restricted section of the library.
Yep.
You can't see my facial expression, but May's very excited.
You can hear it.
I'm feeling left out, and so I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself and Kami.
Oh, they're just gonna leave Kami by himself in the hall.
No. We bonded, so I chose to make him invisible as well.
So you all are now just invisible in the academy.
Yeah.
Just can't see each other. Yep. Perfect.
Kami, where are you, Kami?
We can't hear you, Theo.
Okay.
Can't hear you or see you now.
Hey, where's
I
you?
hear you. Oh my gosh. Oh no.
No, we can see you in the camera. We cannot see you in the game.
See you and yeah, exactly.
Zaire also casts silence for some reason on Kami for just no reason at all.
I just wish there was like I'm envisioning like a guard that's just like watching, like hearing us talk, and clearly knows that we are invited guests in, and now we just all become invisible.
The uninvited guests. Kami.
Can
It's
you
okay.
hear me?
Kami.
now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. What? Maybe, yes, what is it?
Kami. Oh, you're here. Okay, good. Okay. No. All right. Let's go.
May
Okay.
suddenly manic.
After you.
Okay.
So, you guys are headed to Terrell's?
Yep.
All right. Yeah, it lasts an hour. So you guys show up to Terrell Bluffs, invisible.
Hella invisible.
End of the visionary, just the most invisible.
Feathers is not that I don't appreciate being included in this super fun little friend venture, but is this necessary or can we get rid of this now?
I think we can get rid of it now. It was just, I was trying to have some fun.
I thought it was
well,
fun, bud.
now
No,
I
but
feel
it's
bad.
yes. You're right. And then as Zaire drops the invisibility, like.
He's
Okay.
trying, and it's so cute.
I also drop it.
Okay, so
Sure.
the now entire party
I
of
also
five
drop it. No, I'm just kidding.
appears in the center of the
I
Yeah,
drop
Blam.
it.
you drop it. Everyone just drop it like it's hot. Hey.
I'm so sorry.
Yas, drag her.
Yes, we all drop invisibility suddenly in the middle of
in the middle of
the
the inn. You're now just there.
Otero!
You hear in a similar like sing-songy voice. Who is it? And she goes like dancing out from behind like a curtain behind the counter.
A boa, a feather boa.
It's your favorite band of mercenaries.
What are we calling ourselves?
That band of mercenaries.
My dear boy, you're staying here at the Inn of the Visionaries. You need to be more creative than that.
Those hoes over there. We're the
Yeah, we're
thoughts.
working on it.
We're still working on it, Terrell. It's really hard.
Well, hard to merchandise anything until you come up with a name. But
But we're making merch now.
always, well, there's always a way to turn a profit off anything. How do you think I made all my money off of these fools?
Wait, Carol.
But good to have you all back. Always safer with a friendly group of mercenaries under the roof.
Like, could you get some rooms for the night, then, please?
Would you like the same ones as last time?
No, right,
Maybe
Burl? We don't want the
if-
same one as
No.
last time.
No, I didn't want to tell you
No.
last time. There was a roach in my room last time, and it's a little
Yeah.
tainted for me. I don't think I can go back.
Sorry, above game. Was this the hotel?
I think it was the
No, it was the
Seaside.
seaside one.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
right.
okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Still
don't
can't hurt. Can't hurt.
Accompanied by a
well,
friend.
Yeah, no.
I think I should be fine. Someone stay with me and I'll be good. I get lonely.
I got you. I got you.
3 rooms? 4?
Maeve, are you?
For a room.
I'll stay with the
Discounted
Whirl.
rate.
3 per room? Okay, great. So me, Kami, and Whirl,
Yeah.
and Ziggy and Zaire.
Ziggy, we are bunking again.
Let's
Silver for the lot.
let's get stoned, dude.
I'll toss over 2 silver.
And if there's anything you need while you're here, you know where to find me.
No, I don't.
Right.
Yes, we do.
At the front desk.
Yes, that's Robbie.
That's where you go. Okay. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Great job
tell the
here.
ladies yoga at 8 a.m. sharp tomorrow morning.
Well, they've certainly been missing you. I will let them know.
That's right.
They've taken up just being judgmental to people as like instead of yoga. So it'll be nice to
Yeah, that sounds about right.
yeah. So it'll be good to get them off that habit.
As long as they don't pick up CrossFit, we're fine.
Think they would die, but enjoy your stay and let me know if there's anything else you need.
Will do, my dude.
I'm gonna say everybody take a long rest if that's what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm probably gonna call it there for the night because I have to be up super early tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Fair.
All right. Deal.
We can start the Trans-Sordumian journey next time, if that's what we want to do.
Nice. Which, so remind me, it's not next Sunday, it's the 22nd.
That works for me. 22nd.
Correct.
Okay.
Wait,
So
yeah.
3 weeks
Yeah.
from now.
In
Yes.
3 weeks. We'll play.
In 3 weeks.
Yep, not next week.
Wait, let
3
me
weeks.
check. Let me
3 weeks.
check. I don't know if I can do that.
Not the 8th. Not the 15th.
Are we still
22nd.
When's
Are we
Kraken close? Yeah, we are.
What's up?
We
I'm
can
gonna
Hi,
stop that.
everyone.
Bye.
Love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.